It has almost been half a year since Ncuti Gatwa was sent off into the ether and regenerated as Billie Piper, maybe as the Doctor, maybe not as the Doctor, and well, do we know anything about Season 3 for BBC and Disney Plus's joint venture for the future of Doctor Who? Well, we've heard absolutely nothing until now, because all of you Whovians, all of you holders-ons, you guys have a little bit of hope out there, because Russell T Davies has given an update and nothing's happening. Oh yeah, it's dead. It's like super dead. Okay, this is well, it's kind of the fate that we kind of anticipated. Like, we could eventually come to the conclusion of where the BBC or Disney would try to back out of their contract. Okay, you would never get a formal announcement that, yeah, we're severing ties with the BBC because the ratings for Doctor Who, you know, during the gayest period in time was absolutely abysmal. So yeah, we're just gonna save as much money as possible because Lord knows everything else that we have under our umbrella is hemorrhaging money. So yeah, best of luck in your future endeavors, but yeah, we'll just go ahead and keep what we have and we won't charge you for the rest of the season. Don't worry about that. You call us or we'll call you. Don't call us. Okay, we'll catch you on the next one there, Russ. Or even the BBC, you know, giving up on the opportunity to spend more taxpayer money to propagandize people, like even if it was like a return to old rubber suits and painted backgrounds, they would take that opportunity just as a means as to spread the message. It's just, can they get anybody on the cheap, on that cheap? We'll have to see, but for the time being, yeah, it's just silence right now is your answer. The medium is the message. No news is good news for people that still have a bright memory for Doctor Who, because anything new that they put out cannot tarnish the light of those memories. And so, according to Russell T Davies, nothing is happening. Well, showrunner Russell T Davies has revealed that there is still no update on the show's long-term future 3 months after uncertainty first began swirling. Speaking at the Pilot TV podcast recorded on Sunday, the 10th of August, Davies was clear that there is simply nothing new to say. There's nothing to report. Nothing's happening. You'll know when you know, when we know. I don't know. Davies explained that the ongoing discussions about the future of the series are being handled by BBC and Disney, and that he is not directly involved in those talks, and that's kind of a red flag right there. You have your showrunner not involved in the conversation about a show. Pretty important stuff, especially if you're being left out of it. Conversations, yeah, are between BBC and Disney. I don't work for either of them. I work for Bad Wolf, yeah, the production company of the show being discussed. I'm not a part of those rooms, so I literally don't know. Even people I work with every day, so they couldn't know what's really going on. I'm going, I don't know. I really don't know. For now, it seems like the fate of Doctor Who remains firmly behind closed doors, and there it's going to stay in perpetuity, because Russell say that on one podcast and then he'll go on another and kind of paint an even more dire picture by saying that, yeah, Doctor Who will not define his legacy. Oh, no, it definitely will. And if you would have stayed away from a second turn around the sun, you would have been totally fine. Your legacy would have been secured. But now you're the guy that simultaneously revived and killed Doctor Who. Congratulations. Not too many people can claim that. Could have died a hero, but you lived long enough to become a villain. But at least not a disabled one, because we don't want to associate that affliction with evil. In the end, my heart will always be with the things that I own. Well, that's amazing. Most people, you know, have their legacy defined by the work that they do and the impact that they leave on the world. But, you know, he just wants to go ahead and redefine things because that's what leftists do. They like to subvert and change language. But yeah, no. It's not about my creations. It's not about my work. It's about what I own at the end of the day. Sure thing, homie. Esteemed British showrunner. Where's that? We're talking about Russell T Davies in 2025. There's no esteemed showrunner in the vicinity, that's for sure. Doesn't think Doctor Who will be on my gravestone. Really? Because it's surely on your career's gravestone. The BAFTA-winning scribe has had 2 stints showrunning the BBC sci-fi series and told the big issue his legacy will be defined by the queer shows he created, like Queer as Folk, Cucumber, and It's a Sin, and the upcoming Tiptoe. Oh, is that the one that he's working on for Channel 4? But yeah, oh no, yeah, we're having conversations about Doctor Who. Don't worry about that. Here's the thing. I've at least heard of, never watched any, obviously, of Queer as Folk, but Cucumber, It's a Sin, and like okay, Tiptoe hasn't come out yet, so that's not necessarily fair, but if it's written as well as you did Doctor Who, I mean, like, nobody's going to hear about it. Nobody's even going to see it past the first couple of episodes. I love Doctor Who, but I don't own it. It's not mine. So in the end, my heart will always be with the things that I own. And Davies said Tiptoe, which follows two gay men in Manchester. Wow, imagine that. God, it's just so pathetic. On the front lines of the culture war is the strongest thing I've written. Oh, fuck. So if you thought some of the allegories and metaphors that were in the past couple of seasons of Doctor Who were heavy-handed rather, this is going to be even more pathetic, describing it as a cross between the cult Channel 4 drama Queer as Folk and futuristic BBC series Years and Years. Fantastic. And because he is such a level-headed, thoughtful, and intelligent showrunner, that definitely hasn't torpedoed his legacy. He's going to go ahead and jettison any of his remaining credibility with this absolutely insane claim, and he blames Reform Party and Trump for decline in UK gay rights. How exactly does the United States president factor into something you can't define at all whatsoever, and a party that, do they even have a representative in the House of Commons? I think they might have 1 or 2 seats, but yeah, okay, something that just came around within the past couple of years, but yeah, okay, man, sure thing. But yeah, he couches it in the whole lens of when Queer as Folk came out in 1999, you'd say, what will gay rights be like in 2025? Okay. Oh, it will be marvelous. It'll be sunshine and skipping down the street. Well, it was from like 2020 until about 2023 when everything came to a head, and you weren't so much skipping down the street as nakedly wearing bicycles without seats during pride parades by saying that, hey, if you wanted to, you know, cover us up, it was a literal genocide, and us not being able to twerk nakedly in front of children was suppressing our rights. Like, yeah, ended up, you pushed too hard, you flicked too hard, and look where we are. Things got better, but now things are rapidly and urgently getting worse. How? Oh, right, because you can't groom kids anymore. Interesting. Reform has promised to ban what is called transgender ideology in school within the first 100 days of government. Yeah, that is, should Reform win, and should there be an election in the UK in the next 3 or 4 years. Davies also said Trump was literally out to get us, and would have been happier with us invisible and gone, defunded, completely invisible, if not biologically altered to become as straight as him. Yo, this motherfucker is cooked in the head, okay? Thank God he is staying away from anything that normal, sensible people could be interested in. And yeah, that includes everybody on every fucking spectrum that's out there, because yeah, at this point in time in 2025, we've all had dealings with different people of different sexual orientations, and generally speaking, it doesn't fucking much matter what you want to do in the confines of your own room. I don't care. You don't care. As long as you're an upstanding and normal citizen, that's fine. But yeah, I'm a straight guy with my, let's just say, aggressive proclivities. But with that said, I'm not out there watching documentaries about the proper way to choke a bitch, but what the best technique is for hanging hoes out the window. Yeah, not exactly what I'm doing with my every waking hour, but apparently Russell T Davies thinks that all of his, gay compatriots, they can only watch gay stuff all the time. Their life is just 24/7 thinking about round ripe asses. Like, it's fucking nuts. Just how solipsistic and deranged somebody once heralded as one of the best showrunners, one of the best writers in all of entertainment has become. Maybe he was always that type of creep. Maybe it just came to the forefront in these past couple of years, ever since he returned forefront of television prominence. I know he's had some problems in recent years. His husband passed away tragically. But if you need to work out those problems, do it with a registered healthcare professional. Don't lash out irrationally on just the rest of the world, and as a means to mend open wounds, tank 60-year-old IPs to a point where they're going to have to get shelved for a decade if they have any hope of returning. So Doctor Who, yeah, it's dead, guys. 1000% dead. And so is Russell T Davies' career. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.